Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and his sidekick Shanan Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fann, the Preacher Man.
Welcome tonight with Straight Talk with Jones, the Great Fan, the Preacher Man, here with a bottle of water. Shanan usually drinking on the job, but I think I need to get me a drink today, Shanan. A little water. I'm a little thirsty.
All right, well, go ahead and drink. I got a little something myself.
Pastor Lawson at Cornerstone Baptist Church on Capitol Road. I saw him the other day. He said he just enjoyed the program. He said you guys are something else. But we just keep it real though. I think I'm gonna get me another drink of water, though, Shanan.
That's all. Now that's water. That's not what Fani says she like.
Now this
Fani
is water.
says she like Grey Goose. That's not Grey Goose.
No, sir. This is. You see the bottle? It says water.
Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you. I was at a Baptist convention one time, and I went in and told my wife. I said I want to get a glass of wine, and I went in and said I'd like to get me some wine, and it was about 90 something degrees in Houston, Texas, and the lady told me, she said, "Would you like for me to bring you that in a mug like everybody else?" And I looked around, and about 200 folk was in there drinking coffee for lunch. 90 degrees in Houston. I said, "No, bring mine."
Well, you saw
So you might not have in there, but let me smell that.
Nah, this is water, my friend. This is water. But you got the blue cup though. Mine's the blue cup.
Yeah. This is water.
Yeah, I know, real water. Listen, I want to just say tonight, thank you all for when we see you in the street and we see you in different places, you send your comments in. Continue to strive to the channel, though. Continue to strive. Continue to like us. Continue to share, make comments. Continue to subscribe and continue to share. Miss T gonna get me for that because I always want her to say like, subscribe, make comments, and share. So do that, won't you? Help us as we are moving forward. We're looking to take the program on another platform. We'll be on another platform real soon, and you'll hear more about that as we take this program to another platform. It's very informative with a lot of great information. Shanan and I do this job because we really want you to know what's going on around the world. All right, Shanan. We're gonna hear from Miss C, and then we're gonna hear from Ari. He's gonna be talking to the former U.S. Solicitor Attorney General, who's gonna be talking about the pros and cons of this case that Supreme Court is looking at whether or not Donald Trump should get immunity. And they did it real fast. And, it was like, they did it real fast and said, okay, Donald Trump people file their papers. Now, Jack, send your papers. Let us look at it. And then we're going to make a decision whether we're going to hear it or what we're going to do with it. That's really fast. They gave Jack Smith 7 days, but he did it in 1 day. So we're going to hear about that. And then we'll be back on the other side. We're going to talk a little bit about Fani. And we talk about a little bit about what's going on around the world over in the Middle East with Pakistan area. How about that? All right. You see how he bowed his head? He was saying amen. You sure you weren't drinking that?
No. I'd be over on the side with that.
Well, since you said side, we'll see you guys on the other side.
Hi, Miss C here with your 3-minute news blast or more. Hey, Bishop Greg. Hey, Pastor Shanan. Y'all looking good. Listen, I've got some news and tidbits of stuff that I want to share with you today. And, we are in Black History. And I want to, if you would, for me, go and read a book or find out about our heritage. It is so rich. Oh, my goodness. You can go to the library, and I don't know, I haven't been to the library in a while, but African American Studies or If you do Kindle, you can download a book, but you really need to explore our heritage. It is so rich. You'd be surprised at the things that we have invented that you don't hear anything about. For instance, the stoplight. A lot of people know that. The shoe lasting machine. I mean, it's just a lot. So take the time to learn it and find out about it. You will be so proud. Okay? Now listen, the Chosen One's rebirth concert and anniversary is coming up on March 16th at 4 p.m. at Thankful Baptist Church. They're located at 998 Commonville Road in LaGrange, Georgia. The special guests include Renita Joe and Purpose, the Collins family, the Heavenly Stars, Little Leonard and Clear Vision, and Marcus C. and Company. That's going to be March 16th, the Chosen One's rebirth concert and anniversary. All right, now listen. Celebrating Girls Empowerment Day is coming up. It's to educate, enrich, and enlighten, and it's called She's Great. And it's going to be at the Georgia State Capitol Building in room 122 and 123, and it's coming up on February 22nd at 10 a.m. This event is open to all girls ages 10 to 18. Dr. Jacqueline Mohair and Dr. D. Dawkins Hagler will serve as ambassadors. And the guest speakers include Representative Billy Mitchell, Dr. Maria Boynton, Dr. Patricia Houston, and Dr. Edeline Francois. To get more details, visit the website at www.gagirlempowermentday.com. Well, that's going to be so good for the young girls ages 10 to 18. Coming up, that's called She's Great. Okay, I got one more tidbit of news for you. The 130th church anniversary of New Grant Chapel is coming up on March 17th at 10 a.m. New Grant Chapel is located at 1319 Holcomb Avenue it's called Atlanta now, but it used to be East Point. So that's March 17th for the New Grant Chapel 130th church anniversary. That's a long time to be together, isn't it? And that's wonderful. Listen, I want to... 4 things I want you to do. Hold on. I want you to like us. I want you to subscribe to us. I want you to comment, leave comments, let us know how we're doing, and share us. Don't keep Straight Talk News to yourself. There's a lot of people out there that need to know about Straight Talk News because Bishop Greg and Pastor Shanan, they tell you what's going on around, not only here, around the world. So tell everybody you know that they need to tune in to Straight Talk News and do those 4 things I told you about. Like, subscribe, give comments, and share. Okay? And listen, we're going to see you right back here the next time. And in the meantime and in between time, may the Lord God bless you real good. Bye now.
Jack Smith's filing today, Ari, is really powerful. It basically just says every which way you look at it, Donald Trump loses. There's nothing here for the U.S. Supreme Court to really look at, and certainly no reason to delay a criminal trial. I mean, if you and I were ever indicted, we wouldn't get to run to the U.S. Supreme Court and stop our criminal trial because we had some legal quibble with what's going on. You'd have to go through the trial first. And that's basically what Smith is saying here. And he's saying there's a massive cost on the other side, that if you give this delay, then you are going to interfere with this criminal trial to the point where it may never happen. Now, what we were talking about before we got interrupted by the police chief's press conference was the last couple pages of Jack Smith's brief. 36 pages are Supreme Court, there's nothing here. There are 3 pages that do the responsible thing for a Supreme Court advocate. What they're saying is, look, if you disagree, Supreme Court, and you think there's something to hear here, then you should hear it really fast. So fast that Trump will have 10 days to file their brief. Jack Smith will have 7 to file his response. Trump will have 5 days to file his response to Jack Smith's papers, and then oral argument within about a month from now. That is the thing you do. I've written these briefs to the U.S. Supreme Court in these big cases. That's the responsible thing to do, which is to signal to the Supreme Court what you called already Plan B, an argument in the alternative. It's not at all a sign of weakness by Smith at all. It's an incredibly muscular brief, but that's what those last 3 pages are about.
No, it jumped out to you, and I quoted from it earlier because it's very interesting to see. I mean, this is high stakes, and the Trump folks have their strategy, and it's partially delay, and it's partially leaning on arguments that might never win, but could buy them time. And so that Plan B gives...
All right, Shannon, I tell you, Miss C is always Miss C. Miss C, you do a great job as always. Miss C got a birthday coming up. She got a birthday coming up. And y'all need to start sending Miss C a happy birthday. Her birthday is on the 25th of this month. So, just go out to Straight Talk News, 1362 at gmail.com and just, you can just email and just tell Miss C happy birthday. And many more today. All right, and then also you can also put comments in the comment section on the program, and she'll see them. We'll see them. We'll talk about them. But Shannon, let's talk about
any checks or any money y'all want to send. Just send it to us. We'll make sure she gets.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
We love Miss C.
Yeah, he loves Miss C. Yeah, right.
You just send it right on us. We're gonna make sure it get to her.
Yeah, Miss C hearing that too. She gonna want her money. Shannon said that. I did not.
I'm serious. We wouldn't care.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you one thing here that I want you to as we listen to Ari and his and the solicitor there. Basically, what they were saying is, to me, Shannon, is that they were saying that they're using the Supreme Court differently than the average citizen could use the Supreme Court by deciding whether somebody should be tried or not. Because if it was you or I, then we would have to be tried by the lower courts and then appeal to them the decision of our trial, our case. So I mean,
oh no!
Yeah.
Are you trying to say somebody's above the law?
It seems like to me they're trying to give him a privilege they wouldn't give to Shanan Jones or Greg Fann
No, that can't be.
It seems like to me they wouldn't give. That's what it seems like they're saying to me, that they're giving him a privilege they wouldn't give to the average citizen. That's what it seemed like to me they were saying. Because
I told you.
You did tell me that. You did tell me that. I have to agree with you. You said it. You said this is what's going to happen. Watch and see. Watch and see. They're gonna play this thing out to the end, and Trump can do no wrong. I mean, he's now dealing with the case where he paid the hush money for the young lady not to say anything, and now he's dealing with that. He just dealt with the other case, having had to pay that $86 million because of sexual harassment. This man done sexual harass somebody. If it was an average person that sexual harass somebody, they had to be on a sex offenders list. They couldn't go around people and stuff like that. But he can do no wrong. He can say, hey, listen, if I'm president again, we're gonna get out of NATO. If they don't pay their money, they don't pay their fair share, we're getting out of NATO, and we're gonna tell them to hell, do what the hell they want to do to them. If they want to destroy him, I don't care. Whoa, he must think he's still on The Apprentice.
Let me tell you something. Trump had more cases than Al Capone and John Gotti put together, and have the nerve to stand there and be upset that Nikki Haley is waiting for him to be convicted, so that she can say, "I told you so," and then ask America the question: would you elect a convicted criminal? But I'm watching all this. And I wouldn't arrogantly say I told you so. Seriously, it's a sad state of affairs. But even with we're gonna talk about the DA situation coming down the pipe. Right. There is a kind of fear and privilege that's going on here, and this could not be possible. Folks said that the black man would never be president. Then they saw Obama and said that was a miracle. Now they're getting ready to see a criminal possibly become president. And they're going to have to say that's a miracle because it's literally happening right before our eyes. And no matter how much, Joe Biden tries to, keep moving, it just seems that this Trump train is moving at a space and at a place that all of the good that the Biden administration has done, and some things that we wish that they would have done that they have not done yet. Because this administration, we were at a meeting today, that both of us and one of the clergy was saying that black preachers used to be able to sit down with all of the presidents, and that this president has been a little different dealing with this president. So while he and his vice president, the first female vice president, the first African American female vice president at that, crisscrossing this country, there's still some pushback that we're getting on the Democratic side of things. But then on the other side of things, this train is moving, and folks are saying, we know all of that. We think but we're not voting character. We're not voting morals here anymore. Right now, what they're saying is that they are voting for their interests. And they're saying that this man, whatever they do to him, this man is going to give us our interests. And so we're going to hold our nose and elect him. The issue is that far and few between, less people are holding their nose, including those 5 justices on the Supreme Court.
I tell you this, Shannon. We have to. This is bad. This is bad Washington. This is why it's important that civics be taught in school. And I've been saying this over and over again. Civics needs to be taught back in school. And I was sharing with a group the other day. I said, listen, we need to teach our young people civics. The branches of government. We need to teach our young people and have them to understand the branches of government, from the legislative to the executive branch, what those branches do in the judicial branch, right? And the in terms of elected officials being the policy making branch, right? Because they set the policies, they set a budget that will benefit American citizens, or should benefit America, right? With our tax dollars, right? That's what their role is. So we need to help them to understand the role of elected officials, because we don't need a dictator, somebody who's going to dictate what we do. This is not The Apprentice. This is not The Apprentice, where Donald Trump could sit in a room with his daughter and his son and other people and bring people in and then fire them because he didn't like this about them or he didn't like that about them. He ran his company that way, and he has ran his companies in the ground, and it's been said and shown that he has, and now he's going to run this country into the ground. Now let's look on the other side, and I'm with you. Joe Biden ain't all of that. He ain't doing what he ought to be doing either. Let's just be clear. I mean, it came up today talking about an FBI agent who made false statement about Biden and his son Hunter involvement in Ukraine. We don't know if it's true or not, but they brought that out. With the young man who had looked at the case of whether or not Biden, with the classified information, whether or not that classified information it violated the law. The man said, no, he did not violate the law, but he's incompetent mentally. He's incompetent. What did it have to do with whether or not the case was about whether or not he broke the law with the classified document that he had? You cleared him. You cleared Pence. Pence was cleared. But they used a partisan person, and he came back with that opinion to make Biden look bad and look incompetent. That's real truth, right? So let's look at now Fani's case. And as they're looking at Fani, now I don't mean her personal life is her personal life, and she may have made some mistakes in her personal life, but they want to use her personal life and her personal relationship. They tried to move this case, and it was on the news. They're showing Schaefer's on the news, and he's one of the ones. Schaefer's the reason why Fulton County, they were talking about splitting Fulton County. A lot of bad policies that's effective citizens in Fulton County, many of them don't know it because of Schaefer, Jan Jones under that demon dome. Hello, somebody. It was a North Fulton Republicans that brought those change. But Schaefer now sitting up there And he's saying, or they're saying, okay, since Fani has done this and this, that, let's move this case out of Fulton County, which is a strong Democratic county. So that means that we're going to have a strong Democratic jury. Like to think that people, just because they claim to be Democrats, that they're going to vote against what is right, as opposed to voting for what is right. So that you're prejudging that, but you're thinking that if you take it to Peach County, they even said Peach County would be one of those kind of counties. We want to go further south and let be tried further south because we'll have more Republicans. That's what he said, more Republicans if we get our trial moved out of Fulton County. So all of this is about delay. All of this is about moving the trial out of Fulton County, moving into a friendly county that's Republican led that would get those individuals off. Even though we have testimonies from those people who admitted that they did wrong and admitted that Donald Trump knew about it, that they want to go this route because they want to delay, they want to stall, to give this man an opportunity to maybe become president of the United States again. That's real talk, straight talk, Shannon, straight talk. Look like Shannon froze up again, but listen, but that's just straight talk for real. Because what we are facing, brothers and sisters, what we are facing here is this double standard, the double standard. Even with Fani, it's a double standard because they're saying what she did or what allegedly has done. But look at what Donald Trump has done, and they've proven that he's done it. They've proven that he's done. He's paying money for for what he has done. It's a proven fact that he called to Georgia and that he tried to get them to change the vote. That's a proven fact. It's a proven fact. But they're throwing all this stuff on the wall so that something will stick. Then they're hoping that they can get it delayed, so that the criminal cases cannot be heard. He doesn't care about the civil cases. The civil case is just money. He can get money. He can spend money. But he does not want to go to jail for committing a criminal act. Now, your child, me, you, whoever, if we had gone into that, but listen, this would have been done and been over for us. It would have. It would have been over for us. Why? Because we don't have the resources to be able to fight off and find shady lawyers that come up with off the wall legal reason and opinion as to why this case should be denied or this case should be thrown out. Right? We don't have the wherewithal to do all of that. The financial wherewithal to do all of that. So that's why we are where we are, because we have an ex-president, a former president, and we have some people up there in D.C. who's going along with what's really should not be happening because the man had violated the crime. He even admitted he did it. He even had a lawyer to say that Donald Trump, if he was president of the United States, he could have got the Navy SEAL. They have them to go and kill his opponent. Come on, get real. Wake up, just wake up. See what's going on. Understand that this is real happening. This is real thing that's really going on. Yeah. So here we are. Here we are here. In this time, this dispensation, dealing with this. And becoming an immoral country. Where we have people who say that they are Christians, that they believe in Jesus Christ, but yet they go along with the evils and the ills of the society. No wonder of the things that we see that are going on. When people are enjoying a victory celebration at a parade and being gunned down, innocent people being gunned down, children being gunned down. Why are they being gunned down? They're being gunned down because of the fact that you got people who are so immoral now. So because we have a leader, or it was a leader, and still trying to be the leader, who is preaching and teaching nothing but immoral, and they see him getting away with stuff. Then they say, monkey see? That was one of them, you say monkey see. monkey do. Now Shannon is on the phone, and what we're gonna do, Shannon, I'm gonna bring you back in right here on this phone, and you can say what you want to say about what's going on over in Palestine and over there and Israel. So Shannon is gonna come back on. You're gonna come back on the phone. He had to go out, but Shannon, you back on now.
Yeah, I'm back on, and actually I'm on speaker.
Do what now?
Now, so let me go ahead.
Hello, Shannon. Okay, that's Mr. David Muir, Mr. Shannon Jones. He done went off again. Okay, he says he's back home, but I don't see him. He's having technical difficulty in the area where he is. That's keeping him from staying on. Let me see if I can reach him again, ladies and gentlemen. Can stick right there where you are. Don't you go nowhere. We'll be right back with Shanan E. Jones, and he's going to be telling us about what's going on. Please leave your message for me. Well, he's not answering his phone. He's trying to get back on. But he wants to talk about what's going on over in Israel and Palestine. We were at a meeting today, and I wanted him to share that with us. But I got to try to get him on.
Please leave your message for...
What? Yeah.
I'm back in.
Okay, you're back in. Now, I was just telling them, I know you're having technical difficulty over there, I'm explaining that to them. But listen, I want you to tell them about what's going on over there from the meeting today in about 5 minutes, if we can, so we can wrap it up, okay?
Okay, well, before we go into that, did I miss the conversation on the DA?
Yeah. I went on and went through that. If you want to share a little bit of that, you can.
Well, I just want to say that when you go after an organization like this, you had mentioned that Trump is trying to run. Well, he's run this country for 4 years, like he ran his company, like it was The Apprentice, because really he's not acting. In other words, this is who he is. This is what he is, and he exists in privilege, right? And so what he's doing is he's bending and making a democracy bend to whatever his angst and whatever he wants. And when you go after someone like that, when he said he was fired, when he said you fired on The Apprentice, he was doing that in real life. And you saw on January the 6th that he was going to literally fire his vice president. They were going to take him and hang him. He was going to fire because that's just who he is. And so he's not acting. When you come after someone like this, when you come after a machine like MAGA, you got to be what I call Barack Obama clean. I know that if there were any skeletons in Barack Obama's closet, if they could have found anything on him beyond their willful ignorance to understand that Hawaii was a state, and questioning his birth certificate, if they could have found anything, they certainly would have tried to do it. You got to be Mother Teresa clean when you do this. And certainly I remember the campaign against she and her predecessor, Paul Howard. And I remember that came up. They came up with issues about subordinates and people who worked under him as that being an issue. And she raised a moral flag with that. And listen, I don't think that she's done anything illegal that should stop this, but I know that they have set the lion's mouth open, that all you have to do is be the chicken. All you have to do is be the meat and the lion will attack. And unfortunately, I think that this DA, with the oversight committee that the legislature voted to be able to go after what they call rogue DAs, I think that it puts all of that hard work in jeopardy because of this. So we continue to watch how this case turns out. But man, I studied a guy named Lee Atwater, who was responsible for the Reagan and Bush years. And Republicans can fight in ways that others can't stomach. And you got to be ready when you come after them, because they will stop at nothing to stop their agenda. And right now, their agenda is survival We were together today with a lot of freedom-loving people that want to see a permanent ceasefire. They want to see this end. They recognize that what happened on October the 7th was wrong. There were varying different views as to why that happened, and they go back to the history of 1948 and the history between Israel and Palestine, how that entire nation was Palestine at one time, 1948, and then how the settlements began to grow, and then how the map, if it was all green as Palestine in 1948, by today, it's all white with a small spectrum of green, which would have represented Palestine. So these people, it's been a land grab that has happened. And we've been calling for a permanent ceasefire and ultimately a peaceful two-state solution. We've been calling for the hostages to certainly be returned. And so we had a meeting on today, various different views. Not everybody was on the same page, but we came together to say that children should not be dying, and that the Netanyahu administration must stop the bombardments, and that this ceasefire should be a dual ceasefire on both sides. But there's a lot that we could say around that, and we'll perhaps dedicate a portion of it later. We've had some meetings. We've been meeting with elected officials to call for this, and we saw that a letter, one elected official that we met with on February the 7th, when we said that we didn't like what happened on October the 7th, but we equally don't like what's happening on February the 7th with the bulk of 30,000 Palestinians, innocent Palestinians, mostly women and children, killed, and the bulk of all of these Palestinians now being forced to the border in a town of Rafah for the fear of their life that the IDF is ultimately going to kill them in the name of trying to kill Hamas. The Nasser hospital was attacked today, but on that meeting on February the 7th, we pushed the senator on the Black prophetic tradition of King, and that he stands for and has preached for all of these years, for 18 years, as the senior pastor of Historic Ebenezer Baptist Church. We understand it's a third rail issue. Third rail, touch that, you get electrocuted. We understand that he's in the United States Senate, not a small congressional district, but the entire state, and in the United States Senate doing the work there. But we continue to press him. And on yesterday, he led 25 senators. That's 25% of the entire United States Senate and 50% of the Democratic caucus to send a letter to President Biden calling for a two-sided ceasefire. We're going to push him more to make sure that that's a permanent ceasefire, and we've got to bring peace to this issue. But I guess we won't see peace in the Middle East until we see peace at Super Bowl championship rallies and on the streets of our cities. So we've got a lot of work to do, and it all begins with us doing what God calls us to do, Bishop, and that is to love justice, to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God.
And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And we ask you, the viewers of Straight Talk, this is what we're asking you to do. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. Like us. Strive. Make comments. And share. Don't just see me in the street or see Shanan in the street and say, oh, I like it. Share it. Share it with other people. If you agree with what we're saying, or even if you disagree, send us a comment, or you can send it to Straight Talk News. You can email us, Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. Well, until next week, Shanan, we got to get out of here. So, Shanan, this ain't been nothing but what? Straight Talk. We'll see you next week. Take us out of here, Hal.
Want to be a guest on Straight Talk? Email Greg Fann at FANN922 at Comcast.net or call 404-308-0795. Join us again for another episode of Straight Talk with Shanan Jones and Greg Fann, the Preacher Man.